What's up, people? We back with a new video. Happy July 4th. Hopefully you celebrating it the right way. Don't mind if you hear the fireworks going off in the background. You know, they've been letting off all day, well, all week really. But anyway, I'm back with this video, man. I got some topics to talk to you guys tonight about. And the first one, Elon Musk, he made a proposal to spend $6 billion to end world hunger. Under one condition though, is to track every dollar spent. What do you guys think about that? I'll tell you what I think. One is, you can salute that. $6 billion, world hunger. That's a lot of money and it could do a lot of good. But why does he need to track every single dollar? You know, and some people may say, you know, it's because he doesn't want it to go to corrupt people and people to do things that they're not supposed to do with the money, you know, have ulterior motives and stealing and things like that. I get it. I get that aspect. And that's true. It can happen. It happens all the time. But another thing is, you know, he also has this Neuralink thing out. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, it is a tracking device. If you think about it, you know, you implanting something in your brain and it gives benefits. It does good. It helps people use parts of their brain that they lost control of, but it's still a tracking device. So that got me to thinking, like, what's up with this guy and his whole I want to track everything, you know, obsession. You know, everything has to have like a digital footprint or some type of traction. Like it gotta be, this is just my opinion, it gotta be a bigger picture to that. You know, if you're willing to invest $6 billion into world hunger, to quote unquote end world hunger, the motive behind tracking it has to lead to something bigger. You're not just going up and say, I'll give you $6 billion just because I want to track it. You want to track it for a reason. So the next question should be from the people that need it. Why do you want to track this money? You know, you donate to charity. You know, I'm not giving up money to the Goodwill or the Salvation Army and saying, hey, I'm gonna donate this, but I want to track it. I want to see where it goes. You know, if you really want to end the corruption, you do it yourself then. You know what I'm saying? He got enough money where he can start a team and then do it himself. So that eliminates the tracking because you're the one doing it. So that's what raises a red flag to me as far as why you want to track this money, because that money is going to be in a lot of people's hands. And to track it, you're looking for what, pattern recognition, or it got to be something. I know I'm not alone in this, but I know I'm missing the mark, because it's like I don't know, because I can't think for him, but I know it's something bigger than that. You know, he's tech savvy. You know, he owns X, SpaceX, you know, Neuralink. What is it? What's the satellite things he got? Starlink. Everything's linked. You know what I mean? So it's like, now you want to give $6 billion away, but you want to track it. So I see a bigger scale motive to this thing. It's for a noble cause. I get that, and that's great. It's great. But do it yourself then. You know what I mean? Start a foundation, or, you know, whatever. You can do that yourself, so you won't have to worry about tracking it. But just to offer that large sum of money, you know, multiple generational wealth type money, and want to track every single dollar, that's just screaming, what's really going on? You know, like, what are you really doing? What do you really want? You know, and that's what I get from it. What do you guys think, man? Because it just throws my radar up. You know, it makes me want to question things. You know, if somebody walked up to you off the street and offer you $1 million, be like, here, you know, you're gonna be skeptical. You're gonna be like, what's this for? What's the catch? Basically, what's the catch? And that's my question to you, Elon. What's the catch? You know, yeah, you want to track it, but why? What's the catch? What's the bigger picture? You got something up your sleeve to want to track that money, you know, and I don't know what it is, but you know, I have that right to ask those questions. Then you got to think on top of that, where does the money go? Where is the most impoverished areas in the world, like the third world countries, and you know, all of that stuff, you know, where does that hit the hardest per se? You know, you got like Skid Row here, and then you got some places in Africa and all over the world, you know what I mean? So it's just, I don't get it, you know, but do it yourself, man. That's my only solution. If you got to track everything I do, and I'm out here, I'm hurt, I'm hungry, I know I'm not going to use it for like illegal things. I'm going to keep it by the book and do what I need to do. But if you need to track the money, I need to know why you want to track the money. And I get people in that situation probably don't care, and I understand that. But, you know, I'm not sitting here, I'm not rich by far. I'm just saying, looking at it from a different angle, I'm just like, you know, something got to be up, you know, it's a lot of tracking. You see places here in the States where they have cameras, AI cameras here now, like they do in China and different places. And they said, you know, I'm not sure, but they say it violates our constitutional right to do that. You know, a man, he got arrested for damaging like 11 to 13 of them, and he is going against it because he said it goes against our constitution. So tracking is the new wave. It's been here, but it's the new wave where it's ramping up and there's no stopping it, you know. But we'll see. We'll figure out what he's got up his sleeve sooner than later, and we'll see if they'll take the offer. Who they is, I don't know, but yeah, it's just crazy, man. What do you guys think about that? I'm gonna leave that there, and we're just gonna dive right into the next topic. So the next topic, so it's crazy because it just leads into the next. So the chip implant is what I was talking about earlier. So basically, it's Elon Musk, and it's not a Elon Musk video, but still, he has implanted the first chip into this one guy's brain, and he's able to control like the mouse on his computer. They say eventually you'll be able to like send messages and like use your thoughts to control devices. And I wanted to know, what do you guys think about that? How do you feel about that? Because it's getting scary out here. It's even, not to get off topic, is some AI robots, like physical robots that have human parts inside of them, like parts of people's brains and things like that. And they say that some of those robots became conscious. Now, I don't know how true that is, but that's scary in itself, you know, because they said that they use those bots for work, for manual labor. And if they are conscious, let's just say somebody's brain was inside that computer or that robot, and they work consistently nonstop and can't turn off because somebody's controlling them, because they're technically a robot without, you know, the other human parts. So it's like enslavement in a way, if somebody really is conscious and stuck inside this droid and can't think for themselves, basically, or move for themselves or whatever. So to go to this Neuralink thing, you know, the benefits they say is, you know, like I said, to help people that can't access parts of their brain for speech, or, you know, if they can't walk, or if they like had a stroke or something like that, then they can just possibly access those places again. They can, you know, also have it upgraded from time to time, because every device needs to be upgraded. Your phone every couple of years needs a new update. But to use, you know, tech around your house, everything, you see these smart homes, you'll be able to access things just using your brain. And that's crazy. So like, that's some real futuristic stuff that I would have never thought I would see. And yeah, it's here. The guy, it's a video. The guy's here. He's speaking on it. He say he feel great. It was a quick process, and he showed the scar on the side of his head, and he's able to, you know, control the computer and things like that. So I'm just like, I don't know about that, because I seen a different video. I forgot who said it, and they was like, you know, everybody get those things. Let's say 1 million people get them, and they say it's free if you get it. You get these benefits, whatever, and people do it. And then down the line, you know, if you ever heard of MK Ultra and things like that, mind control. So it's basically like the droid with the brain, they're controlling the body. You know what I'm saying? And then this reverse kind of where you got this chip. Well, basically they can control your entire body. Skip that, you know, so they can hit a switch to where it can alter your thoughts, make you see things that are not there. You know, make you go crazy, maybe angry, change your mood, you know, because they do, for one, they're going to have flaws. You're going to have like defects, and things are going to happen to make you possibly flip. You know what I'm saying? So if they have that ability to control you literally from your brain, because you got a link in there, that's crazy, man, to think about. And for regular people to just want to do that, I don't agree. I think that's just the craziest thing in the world to even try to do, you know, unless you desperate, bedridden, or you have serious health issues with the brain that you need it. I get that, like the hungry people before, I get that. But this, if you living and breathing, walking, and you cool, I wouldn't do it. Just because you can control your iPhone with your brain is not good enough reason for me to want to get my head cut open and put a implant in there so somebody possibly could control it, or it could get hot or overheat and fry my brain literally. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, but that's crazy, man. So this whole tech world and the direction we going in is getting wilder and wilder each and every day. And, you know, stay prayed up, stay locked in, and don't fall for the nonsense. And I got one quick topic, and then we done. I'll be right back. Okay, last topic, and this kind of bring it full circle in a sense if you really think about it. But I saw this online. I seen this a few years ago, and I think it's actually, out of all the stuff that I talked about today, pretty cool. So they say when you die, you know, you have an option to put your body inside of a pod and be buried underground and become a tree. So the thing is, it's a process. It's a pod you get put in, and they put a tree seed with your body, and the nutrients and everything when you decompose feeds that tree. So everything inside of that pod goes completely into the tree and grows. And I was like, you know, that's really, I think, is cool versus being cremated, or, you know, just a traditional bury in the ground type of thing. Because, you know, depending on what tree, you could live for 300 years, you know, per se. I'm not saying like, you know, like as a human, but you could be a tree and be here for the next 300 years. And then there's another thing, just think about it, like you got land and you build a house and you can bury us, you know, loved ones on that land. And then you think because of that, it becomes quote unquote a cemetery. You can't get taxed for the property. You got your family there. You pass the home down from generations to generations. And, you know, you have like maybe like a plate by each tree. You can say, this is your cousin. They did, you know, the pod. This is your aunt. The pod, you know what I mean? Just have a bunch of trees on your property, even lining up. Like you ever see one of those like little driveways with the trees going down the side, or just in your backyard. You know what I mean? You could become any kind of tree, you know, and, you know, the kids could possibly put a swing on it, or, you know, I look at it like that. And I think that's real cool versus having just like a casket and, you know, a tombstone in the yard. It'll be a tree. So like I always ask, what do you guys think about that? Because I'm for it. Like and to be honest with you, I don't know how much it costs. It should be cheaper. You know what I'm saying? And like I don't really be thinking about, you know, death and stuff like that, because I'm living. Why bother? When it happens, it happens. But to have that, and to have a home, and to have that, you know, a large tree that'll be there for hundreds and hundreds of years, I think that's real cool to have. You know, it's something new. It's giving back to the planet. You know, it's kind of, you know, full circle type of thing. And, you know, the earth provides for us for everything, and we just become part of that thing to provide and keep the earth alive type of thing, even through death. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I'm going to look into it. You guys should look it up and see what I'm talking about. I might put some pictures and stuff up here in the video so you guys can see. But yeah, man, it's a good thing, I think. And I'm going to just end it right there, man. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's been a little bit. I've been working on my other project, and actually after this I'm going to do some more work on that project. And once I get in decent as far like its content, I'll unravel it so you can, you know, take a look at it. And if you found it already, cool too, but I'm not going to announce it yet. But with that being said, man, I'm done with this video. Like I said, happy 4th, and y'all stay blessed, and y'all stay safe with them fireworks. And until next time, peace out.